Hi there! Some patterns call for long floats, and I like to show you how to work invisible stranding and how to tame those long floats. Let me show you how. Here in this swatch, it's a little bit crumpy, I know, we have those little blue squares, and between them there's a 7-stitch stretch, and the floats run the entire 7 stitches. Have a look at the wrong side. As you can see, there are additional stitches that kind of trap the floats. These ladder stitches are hidden by the stitches in front of them, as you can see here. Let me show how you work those ladder stitches. In the first row, you have to create the ladder stitches. I like to place the ladder stitches right here in the middle, right before the middle stitch. Okay, let's start. Work until the middle or center stitch, which is here. Then lift the right leg of the stitch below the next stitch onto your left needle, like this. And then, with both yarns in front, purl through the back loop with the contrast color. That's it. Then you continue the usual way. Once more, work until the center stitch, then lift the right leg of the stitch below onto your left needle, both yarn in front, and purl with contrast color through back loop. A little bit stretching. You see now the stitch pattern and these additional ladder stitches. At the wrong side, you work usually holding the yarn in front of you, in front the fabric. This is the usual way. And like this, you have to work until the ladder stitch. But then, here comes the ladder stitch. Now you have to hold both yarns and back, knit the ladder stitch, and then hold both yarns in front again and continue your work. Once more, work until ladder stitch, then both yarn in back, knit the ladder stitch, and then the usual way. Here you can see the ladder stitch. You can see there's a column of stitches right behind the front stitches. At the right side you have to do the same but mirror inverted. Usually you work holding both yarns and back, and this is what you do until you work to the ladder stitch. Then you have to hold both yarn in front of you, purl the ladder stitch with a contrast color, and continue working the usual way. And when you don't need the ladder stitch anymore, all you have to do is to knit the ladder stitch and its corresponding stitch together. Sometimes you have to pull this a little bit, stretch it, but after all it won't show. That's all.